Alright, what's up guys? Today I am bringing you a brand new deck profile. Today we are doing Legendary Ocean. This includes a new deck that is available. It is the Legendary Ocean deck, the new Kairyu Shin monster released along with a bunch of other Legendary Ocean support. The deck is really cool. It's one of the best control decks, I'd say, in the game. There's not a ton of representation for control. This is a pretty good control deck. It can be converted into a link deck. If you just cut all of these cards, you can easily make it a link deck and then play it in the Link Festival. But let's not waste too much time. Like I said, it's a new thing, just came out. Like, subscribe, all that great stuff. But let's get to the deck profile. So first things first, we play Magical Libra. These are two normal monsters that we play. You can summon them for free off of the Fish Sonar, and you can summon them for free off of the Kairyu Shin's Dark Reef. So off of Kairyu Shin's Dark Reef, you can summon two monsters, and then on top of that, any number of normal water monsters. So you can summon, essentially, like I said, any number of normal water monsters, so two more. So essentially this card will let you summon four monsters. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Magical Libra is a tuner. I know it's like, what does this do? It's just, it literally, the whole thing with this card is it's a pendulum tuner. The pendulum is irrelevant. The cool part about this card is it is a tuner monster, and it's a level 4, meaning you can go into synchro plays like Wind Pegasus, Psyframe, White Aura Whale, what is Virtual World Monster, I forget, Shin, and then you can also go into some of the other crazy stuff, you can go into the Dragite, which is the water monster for Adamantibators. It's also an option. It's another negate. Yugioh is another card that's kind of cool. Basically, it's just a free level 5 that you get to summon from the deck. 2450 is pretty high in attack, and then you can do all types of plays with this. Also, remember, Legendary Ocean drops all of your water monsters by 1 level. So this plus a Kairyu Shin are both level 4. Bahamut Shark, and then you can go into with Bahamut Shark into the totally awesome cool plays there. It's on my channel if you want to see combos with this. There is a deck profile for Legendary Ocean, like an older one, a TCG one, and that one actually has combos for this particular deck that you can just watch. Next, we've got Maiden of the Aqua. Maiden of the Aqua basically becomes Umi while face up on the field. This card is important again with the Kairyu Shin Dark Reef. You activate this, destroy your Legendary Ocean, and then you can summon this plus the Kairyu Shin, and then you can basically lock your opponent out of everything that's not a water monster. Whatever they normal summon, you just activate and they're stuck on whatever they want. We play Warrior of Atlantis, 3 copies of that. Here's Legendary Ocean. Unfortunately, it doesn't say Umi in its text, it says Legendary Ocean, so that kind of hurts the consistency of the deck, but I mean, it's really irrelevant. You play so many copies of the Field Spell, it's not that big of a deal. We play 1 copy of Doomcrack, and this is like an additional interruption that you have from hand. This is like your final search. If you have everything else in play, you just kind of search this additionally, and it basically just targets a water monster and a monster your opponent controls, special summon it, and then return your monster to your hand, and your opponent's monster gets destroyed. 3 copies of Electric Jellyfish. This card is so good. It's basically good in any water deck. You can even play this in like a Mermill deck, for example. This card allows you to send Umi from your hand deck or face up on the field to the graveyard, and then you can special summon a water monster from your hand. That effect is just crazy. Like, even in a Mermill deck, you can just play 1 copy of Legendary Ocean and just kind of like play it as a brick, send that to the graveyard, and get a free special summon. It's a really cool extender. Also has an effect where if Umi's on the field and your opponent activates a monster or a spell, you can negate that effect, and then this card gains 600. Like, there's no drawback to that. It's just all plus. Yeah, you negate something and you gain 600 attack. I don't really see the negatives. This is a new one, which is the Yugioh of the Aqua. This card's pretty cool too. It basically can let you summon a water monster from the graveyard if you have Umi on the field, and then it basically sets up for like rank 4 plays. On top of that, it allows you to banish it from the graveyard to add an Umi to your hand. Then we play 3 copies of Kairyu Shin. This is the main like powerhouse of your deck. I was lucky enough to pull this in a Royal Rare. Oh my god, I was so excited. This is literally the only deck out of the entire pack that I actually wanted to play, and I pulled a Royal Rare. But basically, this is the main like powerhouse of the deck. What this card basically does is, while Umi's on the field, each player can only control 1 monster that is a non-water monster, which that is pretty damn incredible. Basically, your opponent normal summons, you summon this, and they are locked into whatever the heck they summoned. They can't summon anything else. On top of that, this has an unbelievably cool ruling where that is a continuous effect. So if your opponent has a full field of monsters, if they U-linked you and they have 7 monsters, and they're all negates, and you normal summon this, your opponent has to send everything to the graveyard that's not a water monster. They can't even impermanence it. As soon as it hits the field, they have to immediately send everything until they control 1 monster that is not a water monster. It is insane. It literally breaks any board in the entire game. If you can successfully normal summon this card, you just win. It's crazy. And then after that, you know, everything starts spilling over. Really good against so many different decks. Kills the grind game for a ton of decks. Good against like Despia. This most of the time you normal summon this, so it even beats Fluunderies. You do not special summon this. You just activate Legendary Ocean. This becomes level 4. You normal summon it. You break their board, and they can't summon any more birds unless they're summoning Rabina, because Rabina is a water. But other than that, they literally can't summon any other birds. It's insane. And then it has, on top of that already being crazy, has an additional effect where you can you can add to your hand, if this card's on the field, just activate this effect, add an Kairyu Shin or Sea Stealth card from your deck to your hand. So basically you can search the entire archetype of spells and traps. We play 1 Gamma Seal. It's searchable. This is what you use to beat just decks that are tough to beat. Like sometimes this deck can have a little trouble getting over bigger monsters, but that's fine because you could just search a Gamma Seal and you're good to go. Yeah, you just search Gamma Seal, tribute over whatever. Very good against like Marincess, for example. They summon a big unaffected monster, 4,500 attack, and you just Gamma Seal them and their grind game's dead. 3 copy of Foolish Burial Goods. There's a few different targets for this. So target number 1 is the best target, which is Ice Barrier. When this is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it, and well, not when it's sent to the graveyard, anytime. You can banish this card, then you can send a level 5 or higher water monster to the graveyard, and then you can add that monster, add a water monster, any water monster to your hand, which is, that effect's really good. That is a graveyard effect. So you use this to send this, but additionally, if you have this in hand for some reason, you can actually send Fury of Kairyu Shin. This protects water monsters, and you can send like Sea Stealth 2 to the graveyard, because if you send Sea Stealth 2 to the graveyard, you can get it back with regular Sea Stealth, or Legendary Ocean, you can get back with regular Sea Stealth. You can do a few combo plays. So even if you draw the brick sometime, it doesn't even matter because you can just send other stuff. It's obviously not as good as, you know, the Ice Barrier, but you can send, you know, send other stuff. 2 copies of Extravagance, 1 copy of Prosperity. I'd prefer 3 Prosperity, obviously, but Extravagance is, but Prosperity unfortunately is limited to 1. 1 copy of Kairyu Shin. This just searches the Torrential Tribute. I don't know, my mind just fell apart. Torrential Tribute, and it protects water monsters with its banish effect. Play 3 copies of Fish Sonar. This card is also really crazy. I'm probably going to try to craft this to get it like a royal rare. I think it's a beautiful looking card. But basically this lets you search a monster mentions Umi in its name, and then if Umi is on the field, you can special summon 1 normal water monster from your deck, which again is pretty cool. Yeah, 1 normal water monster, which is either one of these 2, so you can do a variety of different plays. And then we've got a Legendary Ocean, 200 attack points, reduces every water monster by 1 level. We've got Sea Stealth attack, or Sea Stealth 2, which is Umi on the field, and at the start of the battle phase, you can special summon a water monster from your hand or graveyard. That mentions Umi or a normal water monster. And the cool thing about this card is you can do a lot of different tricks. Like you can activate this effect to summon a water monster, and then you can activate Sea Stealth to banish that monster, and then it doesn't get destroyed during the end phase. So you can do a lot of different like cool loops to yeah, Sea Stealth is like one of the craziest cards in the deck. 2 Torrential Tributes, you search this indirectly. Ice Barrier, we talked about this. We talked about the second effect. The first effect is when there is an attack declared involving an opponent's monster, you can change that monster's attack to 0 and negate its effects, and that is a permanent negation, and it can't change the battle position. That is permanent negation. Makes it 0, makes it so they can't change battle positions and negate their effects. Permanent. Really good against monsters that are just really, really big and can't be targeted. 3 copies of Dogmatica Punishment. We play, obviously, some of the Dogmatica package down here. The extra deck Dogmatica package. 3 copies of Kairyu Shin's Reef. This is one of the best like setup cards in the deck. It sets up the Kairyu Shin lock easily. Like this plus any sort of copy of Umi, which this is Umi, this is Umi, this is Umi, this is Umi. They're all Umis. Any of those combinations plus this card, and you essentially just win the duel because it puts Kairyu Shin on the field, and then it puts Maiden of the Aqua, which counts as Umi, and your opponent's just stuck. And then Sea Stealth, one of the most important cards in the deck. This literally does everything. It takes Umi out of your graveyard and activates it. That's number one. Number two, it lets you banish a water monster on your side of the field as cost, and then it protects your face-up back row, so your opponent can't destroy Legendary Ocean, they can't destroy Sea Stealth 2, they can't destroy Sea Stealth 1, they literally can't destroy any of your face-up cards. It basically creates an auto lock, and then has another effect which a lot of people forget about, which is at the start of the damage step, if a level 5 or higher monster, level 5 or higher water monster battles, you can destroy your opponent's monster automatically. It comes off the trap effect, and it's an automatic destruction. It works with Kairyu Shin. It makes him basically indestructible, so they can't even like run it over by battle. And also it works with like the Giga and Gamma. You're never going to actually summon, but theoretically it could work with that. But that is the main deck. Most of the time, this extra deck you don't even really go into. The only thing you really go into are like Bahamut Shark, totally awesome, and White Aura Whale sometimes. Some of the Link monsters, but for the most part, and obviously the Zeus. But for the most part, you really don't actually use the extra deck, so that's why you can play Extravagance, and it really doesn't matter. You go into the extra deck probably like, I'd say like once every other game you go into the extra deck, but it's not super common. There's games where you just play with no extra deck and it's perfectly fine. We play 2 copies of Natis, 1 copy of Adagnist or Pegasus. We play Psyframe Omega. This should really be replaced for the Dragite, which is the Adamancipator Water. The Water Adamancipator Synchro Monster, level 8. Basically, you can make it with Magical Libra and any of these level 4s. Then we play Psyframe Lord Omega. Again, this is a tuner, and that you basically get to summon for free. The White Aura Whale, which is obviously a very strong card. Shen, and yeah, White Aura Whale is crazy. It destroys all monsters your opponent controls. It's insane. The Shen, which banishes everything. Then we play Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome, which are both obviously very strong cards. Abyss Dweller, Baguska, Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, Miss Starboy, Marine, and this gets back a water monster. This steals a water monster from your opponent's graveyard, and this you can set up Dogmatic Mushroom to draw and send a card to the graveyard. Now, the only thing that I would say that could even improve the deck is, honestly, you can actually play Dimensional Shifter in this deck, and it wouldn't be like a huge deal. Like if you want to make this a full control, super meta relevant deck, I'd say you can probably cut the Foolish Burial of Goods, and you can put in Dimensional Shifters, and you can put in Macrocosmos if you wanted to, and that would make the deck like absolutely scary, because you actually don't use your graveyard as much as you would think that you need to use your graveyard. The only card that you really use for graveyard wise is the Foolish Burial Goods and the Electric Jellyfish. Otherwise, your graveyard literally does not matter. Like, none of these cards really need the graveyard. Maybe Kairyu Shin's Reef needs the graveyard, but for the most part, you can Dimensional Shift your opponent and just normal summon this, and it'll just buy you a turn. That's a perfectly good enough thing to do, and most opponents cannot play through it. That's one thing that I would consider playing. Also, you can consider playing Mega Fortress Whale. But that is the deck profile. Like I said, I'm going to have some clips attached to this at the end, some gameplay, and if you would like to see the combos, you can actually go see that video on my channel. But yep, let the clips roll.